A lot of people are learning AI in 2026 because they understand that the gold rush is real. But a lot of people are also sitting there thinking, should I jump on the train or did I lose the boat already? And I get it, because when you look at the space right now, there is noise everywhere. There is people building SaaS, people selling tools, people talking about agents, MCP, vibe coding, all that difficult stuff. And somewhere in the middle, all of that, someone told you to start an AI agency. And now you're wondering, is that actually a real business? Is it worth my time, or is it just another trend that's gonna be dead in 2 years? And that's exactly what I'm gonna answer in this video for you. And in case we haven't met, my name is Joe. I'm an ex-senior manager in big tech. I scaled my own AI agency to 6 figures, helping more than 50 businesses transition to AI. And with that aside, get comfortable and let's dive straight in. All right, so in this video, we're gonna discuss what is the reality about AI agencies in 2026. And in order to do that, we're gonna answer 2 main questions. The first one is, what really is an AI agency? And the second one is, should I start an AI agency in 2026? Is it too late? Did I lose my boat? Like, will this skill be even relevant in the future, or am I losing my time, right? So let's start with, what is an AI agency truly? And my first point is that an AI agency is a service business, which means that it's actually nothing new. And if you think that the AI agency is actually a disruptive business model, just gonna stay here for like 2 years and then be obsolete, well, then we are not looking at the things from the right perspective, because this business model existed for years already. We just added AI to it. And let me show you why this is true. So this is the typical funnel of an AI agency, which means the things that you have to do in the right order. So eventually any agency will start with what we call lead generation, which is the ability that you have of attracting leads, right? Of generating leads for your business. Then eventually you're gonna have to nurture these leads, either doing follow-ups if they don't immediately come in a sales call, either giving free value, or either doing case studies, right? Eventually, if these leads will be ready for your service, we'll move down the funnel and we'll go into a discovery call, right? So basically this means that they hop in and they try to understand if what you're offering actually makes sense to them. So here, you're gonna have to learn a lot of sales, right? Then eventually the sales call goes well, they want to know what you offer, and you're gonna send them a proposal of some sort. And then eventually you're gonna have to figure out what is the contract and what is the payment. And then moving down the funnel, then we go to the onboarding mechanism. So these people eventually maybe bought your service, right? And then what they wanna do now is actually being onboarded. And so what you're gonna have to do is send the onboarding email, send the onboarding material, schedule the timeline, the deadlines with the customer, so on and so forth. Then eventually you move to the delivery, which is creating actually the AI automation that you promised. And eventually you're gonna go at results review, right? So with your customer, you're gonna figure out, hey, did I actually deliver what I promised or not really? And then there is the last part, which is, how do you retain a customer and how do you upsell? And then guess what? This circle, if you are good at this, starts again. So from here, which is the retainer part, right? We go all the way back, and then maybe we don't start from lead gen because the customer is new, but then we go again in a sort of discovery call, and then you're gonna cycle back, right? Up until you can automate their whole business if they like what you do and if you're able to do it, and so on and so forth, right? And this is how agency create the so-called MRR, which is the monthly recurrent revenue. Okay. Now, once we define this, you understand that whether I sell website, whether I sell, I don't know, marketing ads for Meta, right? What is the actual thing that changes? Well, this is the only part that changes, right? The delivery. It's the deliverable. But the business per se, it's an old business model. We didn't reinvent the wheel. We're just offering a different service versus a marketing agency. But the skill set that you need to run an AI agency is there. It's already an old one, and it's also something that's very well established. So why is this important? Because now that we have clarity on what it is, and here basically this means that we're gonna deliver, I don't know, the typical CRM automation or the typical lead generation mechanisms or the follow-up systems, automated invoices, etc., etc., etc. So here we're just gonna build the system and then document it, right? So now that we have clarity on what is an AI agency, so basically a service business that implements AI, right, in other businesses, then the question comes and you should say, okay, should I start one? Is it too late or too early? But then this is the wrong question, right? Because the question, should I start an agency, is not really the real question. Because the question underneath that is it worth my time? Or the whole thing is going to be irrelevant in 2 years? And I've been in a lot of calls and I have this question coming up very often. So how do you answer these questions? Let's look at the possible objection that people have to this, right? So, okay, tools are getting easier every day. Eventually, business owners will just do themselves and cut out the middleman. That's a very common one that people think it's true because logically it makes sense. Practically, that's not really the case because business doesn't work this way. The hard part in any business have never been to actually use the tools, right? Because the hardest part of this has never been using the tools, right? The hardest part has always been understanding what it is, the part that actually makes you money, and what it is actually knowing what you need to build and why and how, right? So think about it like this. Everyone can run marketing ads. Like, the tool is so simple. It doesn't necessarily mean that anyone has the ability to run marketing ads, and that small businesses or mid-sized businesses don't need marketing agencies. Maybe they can use it even on top of what they do, right? So why is this important? First of all, because with this example, you understand that even though the tool will be like relevant or will be there for the next few years or so, just like marketing ads, it's not like marketing agencies don't exist, right? But the also other truth is that most business owners have no idea of what they actually need. And let me get you a couple of examples here. So someone will tell you, hey, I want to automate my lead generation. And this is something that happened to me when I went in a sales call, right? And then what I did was, okay, like, how many leads do you have? How many do come in regularly? What are your acquisition channel? How do these work? So what we end up discussing was that there was no real problem with lead gen. They had plenty of lead gen, right? The problem was, how do you bring those leads to the call? And the real problem they were having is that they were just following up with these way too late, right? 48 hours. And you know that if you follow up within the first 5 minutes, then the conversion rate increases of something close to 80%. This is data. This is not my data. This is public data. You can go check it out. So what does it mean? That it means the statement here was wrong. And if I had built this for them, well, probably I would have failed, right? They would have not made a lot of money out of me. And well, yeah, at this point, you just lose a customer because then you do exactly what they want. They make no money. And then somehow the blame is yours. And it's actually true because your job is not simply be a tool user or an operator. Your job is to actually consult, figure out, okay, what it is that you actually need, why do you need it, and then let me help you out in implementing it. So if they were following up 48 hours later, what was happening? That the leads have already gone to the competitors. And this is very important. And this is not a lead gen problem, that's a follow-up problem. So here, this is to say, the first thing that you're gonna develop in terms of skills is consulting. And then the other objection that I always have is, hey, but at this point, building SaaS became so easy, maybe I should just build mine and I have this revolutionary idea. Well, guess what? Everyone has a revolutionary idea. Then how many ideas do actually work? And then what people don't realize, specifically if they have never been in the entrepreneurship, is that product fails because people build the product before they have the market or before they have the use case. And this happens whether you're building something inside your companies. You have no idea, guys, how many dashboards when I was working in big tech, I've seen that nobody used. People actually build this before they even have the market. So people's interest, they are just building it just because they think it's nice, but they don't have real data to compare it with. So what happens? They spend money and month building something, launch it, to find out that nobody wants to buy it, right? And this is the worst case scenario. While what is the other thing? That when you run an agency, first, you skip that problem entirely. And why is that? Because you are in the market every day. Every single day you have feedback loops. You are talking to real business owners that have real problems and they actually pay you to solve a problem. This is the part that most people don't understand. if there is not a movement of money, you don't have a business, you have a hobby, right? That's market validation you cannot fake. And if you ever want to build something on your own, you already know exactly the people, right? Because you are going to build something for them, and you're going to know exactly also what it is that these people need, because you have been living inside the business with them. So this means an agency is your first step into the AI world. Here is, so should you start one? Well, if you want to get into AI without needing a technical background, if you want to build skills that actually hold long-term value, like sales, like consulting, like business in general, generating leads, creating proposal, automating, talking to people, and etc. And if you want a direct path into the market, the answer is of course yes. This is your entry point. But one more thing, the window is closing, and I'm not saying that to scare you. And what do I mean by that? Like, I think people overall over exaggerate the hype or the scarcity or the FOMO, or under exaggerates it. Now, the arbitrage window right now is open. However, it's closing, and it's closing fast. Why? Because there are channels like mine that teach this for free. Business owners just get visibility. And there are people just like myself and all of the people I work with that get reached out from business owners to help them implement these tools within their businesses. So right now, today, there is a gap between what AI can actually do for a business and what most business owners know about, and this is where you can make money. So for example, an average roofing company, the dental clinic, real estate team doing decent number, most of them use ChatGPT, right? So you just leave, just to be clear, the roofing company, the dental clinic, real estate heard ChatGPT, and then you cut it. But what does it mean also that the gap is shrinking? That every month more businesses are aware, then more people start an agency, then you have prices compressing, and then the differentiation gets harder because the market saturates. And in my opinion, 2026 is going to be one of the last years where getting into the space feels like an early mover advantage. So what do I mean by that? I mean that the window is closing, and we know it. Claude Code, anti-gravity, all of these tools are making AI super accessible. So your differentiation in the market right now could be agentic workflow, but in a year from now, that's already saturated. So realistically, if you want an early mover advantage, this year and this moment in time is actually your time to invest in a business. And in order to start your AI agency, you have plenty of resources. There is plenty on my channel, plenty online, and plenty available. However, if you're a 9-to-5er interested in starting and scaling an AI agency within the next 90 days and you find value in personal coaching, I left the first link down below, which is a coaching program one-on-one with me, where I can help you out get started in just 90 days. We will cover everything from an offer customized to you to how you can actually generate sustainable leads for your agency. I hope you find value out of this video and help clarify what an AI agency is for you, and I'll see you in the next one.